Zone presented by TiVo on CBSSports.com and on your TiVo DVR via TiVo Cast. Heading into Week 9, it is time to hand out some hardware. Alongside Ian Eagle, I'm Jason Horwitz. Glad to be with you. And we don't actually have any physical hardware.
No.
We've got some plywood, some plaster, and a remote control. But if you want
a nice mug, though.
You could email us.
First-rate mug.
You could keep that at the end. But let's hand out some awards through graphics, shall we? Let's hand out some awards through graphics. Let's start with the Rookie of the Year. And we'll give you some nominees for each of these categories. Then we'll give you the winner. But you got three different positions here. I think the winner's pretty obvious in the Rookie of the Year, but Adrian Peterson, Joe Thomas, Patrick Willis have all been standouts.
And they've been impact guys from the running back position. Normally, you can tell right away if a guy has it or doesn't have it in the NFL. Adrian Peterson has that it quality. He has been the Minnesota offense with all their unrest at the quarterback position. Teams can really focus in on him, and he has still been effective. We'll stick with the running attack because the Cleveland Browns have not been able to run the football basically since they've come back into the league. They've had the 1,000-yard rusher in Reuben Drones. They bring Jamal Lewis in this year, and Joe Thomas has been a big reason why they've gotten some push in the running game. And if it's not Lewis, it's been Harrison, it's been Wright. Thomas has to be given a lot of credit. Eric Steinbach certainly has helped as well on that left side of the line. And the San Francisco defense, offensively, San Francisco can't compete right now.
Awful.
Defensively, they can because Patrick Willis, from the moment he stepped on to their facility, they've been impressed with his work ethic, with his drive, and his humility. He's learning from Mike Singletary, one of the best to ever play the position in the NFL. Willis has been a major standout.
And let's not forget, last year's Defensive Rookie of the Year was also a linebacker, D'Amico Ryans for the Houston Texans, a guy that wins the award not on a good team. Could be the same thing with Patrick Willis this season. Speaking of defense, let's get into it. Who's the defensive MVP so far this season? Here are our three candidates. Aaron Campman having a fantastic season on a 6-1 Packers team. 8 sacks so far, had 3 of them against the Broncos. Jared Allen, he was suspended the first 2 games of the year, yet he has come back and has 8 sacks in 5 games for the Kansas City Chiefs. And Bob Sanders. I mean, with Bob Sanders, you just look at the numbers and you say this defense is right here with Bob Sanders. Without him, they're down there.
Yeah, to me, this is an obvious pick right now because of the impact that Sanders has had with this Indianapolis defense. They have credibility, and a year ago, they didn't have credibility. In fact, what was everybody talking about in regards to the Colts? They're good in the regular season, but with a defense like that, they can't win a Super Bowl. Well, guess what? Sanders comes back, and the Indianapolis defense gains confidence, and there's been a domino effect when it comes to the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. The other two men that you mentioned, Campman's been tremendous for a Green Bay defense that is much improved. And Jared Allen, first 2 games, he's not a part of the defense. He steps in week 3, and this is when you know a guy makes a difference on your team. The whole defense has a different look and a different feel. He's had a big-time season.
They were 0-2. They are 4-1 with Aaron Campman, and now they welcome in Green Bay. With Jared Allen. Now they welcome in Green Bay with Aaron Campman, so we'll be able to see those two go head-to-head this weekend. All right, how about the coach contenders? And, we'll see one of the coach contenders this weekend in that game in Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. People didn't really pick them to be anywhere, even after winning 4 in a row to end last season. They're sitting there 6-1, tied with Dallas for the best record in the NFC. Obviously, Bill Belichick, you know what the Patriots have done. You don't need us to tell us that. Romeo Crennel, they were calling for his job before the season started. After week 1, his starter was Charlie Fry. He was shipped out to Seattle. His team has gone 4-2 since then. And then what can you say about the job of Rod Marinelli? The Lions franchise has been god-awful since Barry Sanders left. And he's got this team at 5-2. They're playing defense. They're getting takeaways. But when you've got a team that is 8-0, that is setting records, that is blowing people away, despite what you may think about him, despite the attitude, despite Videogate, whatever it may be, you have to say that Bill Belichick would be the coach of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on what your criteria is for this award. For me, there's a chance this team is going 16-0. If you go 16-0, guess what? Your head coach is going to get the accolades along with the team. Marinelli's done an incredible job changing a culture in Detroit. McCarthy, a lot of people thought, including myself, he was not the right fit for the Packers, and he and Favre were having a bumpy road. And Romeo Crennel, you said it, I mean, he was done. Everybody had just assumed that he was fired. And he's been able to get this team to play hard defensively. They're still improving offensively. This is a whole new ball club
juggernaut.
now. It's a juggernaut. When did we ever think we'd say the Cleveland Browns are a juggernaut? So that's a great story in Cleveland as well.
He's got great weapons in Kellen Winslow and Braylon Edwards, and they're finding ways to run the football, and they're putting up a lot of points. And they have a very good chance this weekend to get to 5-3. Meanwhile, the MVP. You know what? We've got candidates here, but let's be honest.
You even want to list them?
You see him right there: Brady, Moss, Peyton.
We just had to come up with some other names.
Somebody,
for you.
but when you've got 30 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and you're on pace for 60 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and the NFL record is 49, which by the way is held by Peyton Manning. You know, you may want to say valuable. Randy Moss has given Tom Brady the opportunity to be that good. But Brady's been good without Randy Moss before. He just hasn't been this good. But he's finding ways to get Wes Welker involved. He's finding ways to get Dante Stallworth involved. If those guys aren't involved, you got Ben Watson. It doesn't matter who it is. Someone's got to get them the football. He's got to be your MVP.
I'm not sure what I can even add to this. Tom Brady's numbers speak for themselves. The way he conducts himself speaks for itself. Tom Brady is the epitome of class. And the MVP, just write it in. Write it in. I don't think anything can change the rest of the way, even if the Patriots lose a game, lose 2 games. What he's done in the first half of this season, I think will go unparalleled throughout NFL history from a quarterback through an 8-game stretch.
The one thing that could change that is if Tom Brady somehow gets hurt.
Oh, yeah. Well, we understand that. You don't want to talk about that.
No, of course not. You done?
See no evil, hear no evil. Yeah.
All right, Ian's done.
I'm done.
Well, if Ian's done, we're done. One more segment here on the Enzo presented by TiVo. There's your mid-season awards.
Yeah.
What are you plugging your ear for? You've already got an earpiece in.
Don't give away
roll
our
on
TV
here on TVNSports.com and on your TiVo DVR via TiVo Cast. What are we discussing? We got one more topic to go. Yeah,
Put your hand over your mouth, and maybe that'll stop you from talking.
You'll see it when we come back.